There's a crucial need to promote international coordination on setting safeguards for AI. So we're very pleased to welcome next from the United States Congress, Representative Sara Jacobs.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you all, and thank you to the Future Society for convening this summit on this very important topic. So as one of the youngest members of Congress, I am painfully aware of how outdated our policies are here in the United States and how we've largely failed to keep up with emerging and evolving technologies. And that's why this summit is so important, so that we can come together and recognize the opportunities and challenges of artificial intelligence, address the gaps in our domestic policies, coordinate internationally to align our efforts, and figure out what more is needed. As the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa and the vice chair of a House AI working group, I'm particularly focused on global AI governance and especially how it impacts the global South. Since our AI systems cross borders and have global impacts, they need to have global responses too. And I've seen firsthand how technological innovation can have global benefits, but not necessarily be distributed equally. Before I came to Congress, I was the founding CEO of Project Connect, a nonprofit dedicated to mapping the location of schools around the world and connecting them to the internet. It is now one of UNICEF's flagship programs, and from this work, I know how important it is to make sure that innovation actually reaches every corner, and that no community is overlooked, forgotten, or exploited by technology. We need to make sure to distribute the benefits of AI equitably on a global scale, and make sure that we're always keeping in mind how they'll impact the most vulnerable. Many of our governments continue to reckon with our painful legacies of colonialism. And creating AI global governance systems from a Western-only perspective will only perpetuate these harmful cycles. That's why we need to get this right. And to do that, we need more voices and perspectives at the table, especially civil society organizations and governments from the global South, who too often don't have a representative voice in these digital conversations. With the rise of foundational models and generative AI, we're seeing new opportunities and risks, including new threats to our information systems, to our democratic institutions, and to global security. We're also seeing a renewed focus on harms to civil and human rights that, frankly, researchers in civil society have been sounding the alarm on for decades, from access to housing, to credit, employment, education, biases in our criminal justice system. We all here know that algorithms and AI replicate our own biases. And that can be especially dangerous when algorithms and AI are used in areas that have been marked by discrimination for years. That's why we need to be really thoughtful and intentional about addressing bias through oversight, through regulation, through global governance, and addressing the harm that's already been caused by AI. So it's important that the United States leads with our values as we engage on AI on the world stage. And that's why I wrote to Secretary Blinken earlier this year, urging the State Department to support inclusive and transparent global processes and to promote principles abroad that align with the White House AI Bill of Rights, including freedom from algorithmic discrimination, from excessive punishment, and from unchecked surveillance. It's also why I led a bicameral letter to Vice President Harris in advance of the UK AI Safety Summit, urging the administration to promote an inclusive definition of AI safety that recognizes the full spectrum of AI risks, including ongoing harms to marginalized communities. And I'm really glad that President Biden's new executive order on AI builds on our commitments to multilateral and multi-stakeholder engagements to promote AI that upholds human rights, democratic values, and the rule of law. And I'm excited that in this next panel, you'll hear about some of these exciting initiatives, including at the UN, OECD, and UNESCO. But these existing institutions may not be enough. So as AI evolves, we should keep an open mind about creating new institutions with new authorities, such as the recently announced US AI Safety Institute, which has already committed to bilateral coordination. Effective global governance also means that countries like the United States that lead on AI need to lead by example by updating our own laws. I'm working closely with my colleagues in the House and the Senate to address gaps in our existing laws and make sure agencies have the resources they need to investigate harms due to algorithmic decision-making and hold companies accountable for violations. I'm so proud to support the Algorithmic Accountability Act, led by my colleague, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, an important step toward AI transparency so that policymakers can get the information we need and consumers can make informed choices about the AI systems they use. And I'm looking forward to digging into these issues even more as vice chair of the New Democratic Coalition's AI Working Group. So I am so very grateful for your work on these issues and that you're convening this week's conversation. I wish I could stay for the whole thing, but sadly I have other things that I unfortunately have to go do, like vote. But I am looking forward to continuing these discussions well beyond this week, and it is truly, truly an honor to be doing this work alongside all of you. So thank you so much.